in a way, maybe. I would say
Silent?
silent. So, I mean, silent. It's sometimes it's good to be quiet. Sometimes you have to speak up, especially when you're talking about. For example, you know what? What I noticed, which is typical for Russian culture, and you guys tell me whether it's true for your home cultures. People respect you more. They start respecting you if you show that you are against something, if you show your disagreement. You might do it sometimes in an aggressive way. You might do it in an assertive way. If you are not quiet all the time. So they will start treating you differently. This is what I've experienced. This is what some of my colleagues experienced. And it's not something obvious. It's not mentioned in official documents. Like, you have to stick to this behavioral style. No. But this is what actually people are saying, and this is the typical reaction. So, for example, among some of the professors, or most of the professors, they offer this schedule, right? So I can have a class at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not talking about master students in general, right? 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock, or in the afternoon. And we had one professor, and he would have his own preference. He would say, okay, I can only come at 2 o'clock, or maybe at 6 o'clock. I don't like waking up early. And he would inform everyone else. And I mean, this was not good for other colleagues because they had to, adjust their routine. But he was so brave to speak it up. And then finally, actually, some of the other colleagues were saying, oh, I also want to have this freedom and be able to work whenever I want to work. And my question was, so go for it. And talk to the dean. So I talked to the deputy dean, and I said to her, look, actually, I also have my preferences. And now we have this kind of a very flexible schedule. But I think that it's important to stay polite, stick to official communication, very formal communication. Try not to offend people around you, but at the same time, think about this. Think about your private boundaries, because this is very important. No one else will think about that. No one else. And for example, one of my friends, she wanted to get a job promotion. And she had this hope that the head of the office would let her get this position. And before talking to her, I asked her, hey, have you talked to her? And she said, no, I think it should be obvious. Which wasn't. And then she talked to her, and the boss said, oh, actually, I didn't know. I didn't have an idea that you were looking for this job promotion. So sometimes it's important to say that, hey, I want this. And then, if you don't get it, you might negotiate. You might say, hey, actually, I informed you I wanted to go out there, and you didn't listen to me. Instead of sitting, just waiting for someone to be able to read your mind. This is not going to happen, never. So I would suggest, of course, sometimes there are situations where you can pick passive-aggressive style, sometimes. But you can, it's, again, we're talking about communication. You can never calculate it. It's not like 1 + 1 = 2 or something. No, but normally I would suggest assertive, sometimes passive-aggressive. Well, if nothing else works, but I think this is the last option. Any ideas? Any personal stories?
So I have a question. In cases whereby a person is silent, assuming here is a company, right? And I come late due to some unforeseen circumstances, right?
Yeah.
And you ask me, why am I late today? And I'm just silent because I'm just anxious. Would you take that as being aggressive or being...
It depends. We cannot drag something out of the context. We have to look at the context, right? As I told you about this particular case, this interview that I had with a flight attendant, and she said, sometimes a person walks in the plane, and you might think, oh, he's so horrible because he didn't say hi, he didn't greet me with a smile, but maybe he's afraid, or maybe something happened, maybe he's worried about something.
Because I've seen a very polite person. When asked some questions, he's just silent because of anxiety.
Maybe, yeah. So you have to consider the situation. You have to, like, for example, when we watched a video, an interview, and you might think that this celebrity was so rude because she participated in this press conference and she was just absolutely rude. But this was just part of her project life. This was just part of her daily routine. And we can watch another video, another interview, and she would be a completely different person. So it's you don't just drag one situation, one case out of the context and say, oh, this is right, this is wrong. No, you have to kind of create a bigger picture or try to see a bigger picture. Oh, let's see. But sometimes being silent is good. Not if someone is being aggressive and you decide not to respond, not to be aggressive, like kind of not to project this behavior. It's good. It works because the person would, okay, he's quiet, doesn't want to say anything, fine. So it can kind of helps to avoid conflict sometimes, but it all depends on the context. Okay. So other cases, other situations. No? Yes.
Can I represent the case?
Yes, sure, please. You were the only one in the team.
I did the case with Igor.
Okay, but he's not here. Okay, you have a presentation?
I don't have a
okay.
presentation.
Okay. So we'll listen to you. Any other presentations, guys?
I haven't got any.
Oh, you haven't done it?
I haven't got any. I don't have any. No topic, nothing to talk about.
Oh. Okay, so we'll settle this down after the class. But now let's continue the lessons. Okay.
So, we did the case number 3. The conditions are next. You are the head of the HR service and are about to start an interview with a new candidate. While glancing through his curriculum vitae, you find there is something fishy concerning the degrees and certificates. Are you going to voice your concerns and how? Please explain. So first of all, we need to understand the situation, and it depends on situations. When, for example, we have a big enterprise and we have not complex, not hard work, and many candidates, then when we understand that the candidate lie us, we can close the eyes and offer the job for this candidate. And for example, when we have complex work and not many candidates, so we need to be responsible and careful to consider the documents and resumes. And what we can do exactly. First of all, I need to tell that every employee, every candidate lies in his resume, and the employer understands this.
What kind of lies are we talking about? Like do we lie about the...
For example, the candidate can tell about his skills very a lot, and they can do it. For example.
Example that I know how to work with this computer program, but in reality I am not really trained, so well trained, right?
Yes, not advanced, for example.
Yeah,
just beginner.
yeah, right, something like that. Which is okay, right? In general, this is it's going to be your job to move on from this beginner level to advanced in order to be able to work, right? But lying about the diploma, lying about the name of the university, or lying about the ability to speak foreign languages, which can be easily proved, right? You can You can have an expert, you can have an HR who is capable of speaking different languages, and he can ask you, like, okay, you mentioned that you speak English or German, or, okay, in your case it's not going to be a problem, but some Chinese, for example, and a person would say, wouldn't know how to reply, right? So it's going to be obvious that it was a lie. So,
Yeah, sure. The
Yeah.
candidates want to show the best sides
yeah, right.
and hide the minuses. So, what can we do with our candidate?
Yeah,
We suppose, for example, we can ask the candidate about any expressions or inconsistencies in their resume and explain the concerns and request clarification on the questionable aspects. And for example, we can just verify the candidate's credentials and documents. For example, we can ask the previous employer of the candidates,
yeah.
and they tell us the truth.
Or you can call the, normally you would ask for the recommendation letter. You would ask the person who signed